Relationships can be a beautiful journey filled with joy, love, and companionship. However, not all relationships are meant to last a lifetime. Sometimes, staying in a relationship can lead to more harm than good. Respecting boundaries is a crucial part of any healthy relationship. When boundaries are not respected, it can lead to resentment and distrust. It's important to remember that leaving a relationship is not a failure. It takes strength and courage to prioritize your own well-being and walk away from something that isn't working. Here are 10 signs that prove it's time to leave your relationship and embark on a journey of personal growth. 1. You feel unappreciated. Feeling unappreciated means that you're putting in all the work and not getting any of the rewards. You're giving your time, energy, and love to someone who doesn't see your true worth. It's like working at a job that never pays you or going to the gym, but never seeing any results. And trust me, honey, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. You deserve someone who sees the value in everything you do, who showers you with love and affection, and who makes you feel like the world stops when you're together. So if you're feeling unappreciated, start packing your bags. It's time to leave that relationship in the past and find someone who will treat you with more respect and kindness. 2. You're sacrificing your mental health. All right, my dear, let's get real. Are you constantly anxious and on edge around your significant other? Are you tired of pretending everything is okay when you're actually drowning in anxiety and stress? Sounds like a mental health disaster waiting to happen. And let's not forget the physical toll that a toxic relationship can take on you. Lack of sleep, constant stress, and emotional turmoil. All of these can lead to physical health problems down the road. Your mental health should always be a top priority. If you're constantly feeling drained, anxious, or on edge around your partner, it's a clear sign that something isn't right. If you find yourself questioning your own worth, constantly feeling like you're not good enough, and your partner is not supportive of you, it's time to say adios. Remember, it is never too late to make a change and take back control of your life. 3. You're putting in more effort than your partner. If you're the one planning all the dates, initiating all the conversations, and making all the sacrifices, then we have a problem. It's exhausting to constantly be the one carrying the relationship while your partner just coasts along. But it's not just about who's putting in more effort. It's also about whether your efforts are being appreciated. Are you constantly feeling undervalued and taken for granted? If so, honey, it's time to bounce. Your time and energy are precious, and they shouldn't be wasted on someone who doesn't see your worth. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what if they're going through a tough time? Well, sure, we all have bad days and rough patches in our lives. But if your partner is consistently leaving you to do all the heavy lifting, then it's time to reevaluate the relationship. Relationships are a two-way street, and both parties need to be putting in equal effort if they want it to work. 4. You don't feel like yourself. You know when you start acting like a totally different person just to keep the peace, or when you can't remember the last time you did something that made you happy. Listen, sure, compromise is a part of every relationship, but if you find yourself constantly giving up things that are important to you or sacrificing your values to make your partner happy, it's time to hit the road. Remember, you're the one who has to live with yourself for the rest of your life. So if you're not feeling like the amazing, fabulous, one-of-a-kind person that you are, it's time to say bye-bye to anything getting in the way of that. 5. You're unhappy more often than you're happy. If you find yourself spending more time with a frown on your face than a smile, then it's definitely time to reassess your relationship. A successful partnership should bring out the best in both parties, leaving you feeling fulfilled and content. Feeling like you're constantly walking on eggshells is another clear signal that it's time to make a change. A healthy relationship is built on trust, honesty, and respect. And if you're constantly worried about saying or doing the wrong thing, it's a sign that these fundamental elements are missing. All relationships have their ups and downs, but if you're finding that the downs are outweighing the ups on a consistent basis, it's time to take action. Don't be afraid to face the facts and admit that your current situation isn't working. By doing so, you can take steps towards finding a partner who will bring out the best in you and make you truly happy. 6. You dread spending time together. As much as we all love some alone time, if you find yourself constantly dreading spending time with your significant other, it might be time to call it quits. After all, your partner should be someone you look forward to spending time with, not someone you're constantly trying to avoid. Maybe you find yourself making excuses to not go out on dates, or perhaps you've started spending more time with your friends just to get away from your partner. Whatever the case may be, if you're dreading spending time together, it's a sign that things aren't working out. But don't worry, there are plenty of more fish in the sea. So instead of dragging out a relationship that's clearly not working, do yourself and your partner a favor and move on to greener pastures. 7. You're hiding your feelings. When you can't be honest with your partner about how you feel, it's a clear sign that something's not right. Maybe you're afraid of hurting their feelings or starting a fight, or maybe you're just tired of trying to communicate with someone who doesn't seem to understand you. Either way, if you're constantly biting your tongue and suppressing your emotions, it's time to ask yourself why. Remember, life is short, and you deserve to be with someone who loves and respects you for who you are. Don't waste another minute in a relationship that's holding you back. It's time to listen to your heart and take that leap of faith. Who knows what kind of amazing things are waiting for you on the other side? 8. You don't have anything in common. This is the classic case of the couple who have nothing in common. It's like watching two people trying to speak different languages and wondering why they're not making sense to each other. Let's be real here. If you're spending your days with someone who doesn't share your interests, passions, or values, what do you really have? A relationship shouldn't be a matter of tolerating each other, but rather being excited about spending time together. When there's a lack of things in common, you'll often be unable to be yourself because your partner just doesn't get you. Maybe you're into fitness and love pushing your limits, while your partner thinks walking to the fridge counts as exercise. These differences can cause resentment and frustration over time. It's best to find someone who shares your passions and is interested in the same things as you. Life is too short to be stuck in a relationship where you're just going through the motions. 9. You have lost respect for your partner. We all have our moments of irritation with those we love. But when that tiny seed of annoyance grows into a full-blown forest of disrespect, maybe your partner displayed a lack of integrity or said something hurtful to you or someone else. Perhaps they made choices that made you question their character as a whole. Whatever the reason, once you lose respect, it's incredibly hard to get back. And without that essential foundation of respect, a relationship quickly crumbles. Well, it might be time to start pondering your exit strategy. It'll be hard, but in the long run, it's worth it to find someone who commands your respect and admiration. 10. You don't see a future together. Let's be real, if you can't picture a future together, what's the point? When you're in a healthy relationship, you envision building a life with your significant other. You dream of your future together, planning vacations, starting a family, and growing old together. But if you're struggling to see even a glimpse of a future with your partner, it may be time to call it quits. And let's not forget about trust. Trust is an essential ingredient in any healthy relationship. If you find yourself constantly questioning your partner's trustworthiness or feel like they are not being honest with you, this should raise a red flag. So, when you don't see a future together, it's a sign that it's time to leave your relationship. When it comes to relationships, it can be difficult to know when it's time to leave. It's important to take some time for self-reflection and to consider your emotional well-being. Even if you're not ready to make the decision right away, it's important to recognize the signs and begin to think about what's best for your future.